ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
How are you feeling today?
Doing good.
Good? Yeah? As bubbly and happy and energetic as me?
I mean, not as you, obviously, but no, I said earlier, like, I'm really happy because I was able to do those really heavy power clicks.
Yeah.
And I had that bicep thing going on for a little bit. So.
How's that feeling?
Really good.
Yeah?
Like, it's not there. Like, I was really cautious with it.
Yeah. That's
so
wonderful.
It felt really good.
That's what you got to do. You know, be cautious of it. You know, see it, heal it.
Work around it.
Yeah,
work around it. And, it's just like everything we do with the food and all our lifestyle factors. It's like, you learn a little bit, you back off, you experience, we're going to talk about, like, there's no such thing as failure. There's only feedback, you work with it. You roll with the punches.
Yeah. So before you dive into it, let's, because we're talking all about values today.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
we're talking values.
The SHT values.
Yeah. That's what we think they are. I mean, I don't know. This is a list of things that we've kind of honed, since the beginning, and I guess that's what they are. I don't know what else to call them.
I feel like they're values. I mean, you wouldn't call them, morals and values. You know, you have morals and then you have values, and they go hand in hand. But I just really think that these are values, because when you not walk away from the SHT community, but when you're done with the progression and the program and you learn all of this information, these values just come hand in hand. Yeah. I really do believe that.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I think we need to print them somewhere too, so that people can. I mean, this is going to be good to have an audio, visual reminder of it, but we need them on the website.
Yeah,
maybe some posters or something like that.
There's a blog post about them. It doesn't go way too in depth.
Yeah.
But it's a really good blog post.
Yeah, we need to update it because I think this is really good stuff. And the reason that we put these together is it's like we're addressing a lot of the concerns and mental, emotional struggles or difficulties or challenges that people have as they go through something like this. Because, we mentioned before, this is a way of life for a lifetime.
Yes.
But in order for it to be like that, we have to understand, like, it's filled with ins and outs and ups and downs and strikes and gutters and monkeys in the wrench and flies in the ointment.
Oh, yeah. And constant changes.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do you want to start with our mission?
Yeah, let's just review our mission. So, what we're doing here. So personally, after being misled by conventional wisdom for most of my entire life, I've turned my health around using what we call ancestral wisdom, which we will cover in a future episode, and combine ancestral wisdom or ancestral health with modern science and information. And we are on a mission to help others do the same. That's how I turned my life around. That's how we've all turned our life around. So here in Vegas, what are we calling ourselves? The SHT Executive Tribe.
Yes.
And the people that support us and help us. We've built a movement around this progression we call the SuperHuman transformation, abbreviated SHT. And we've also impacted people online in different states and theoretically, hopefully, different nations.
Yes.
And so now we are on a mission to empower the planet with the freedom that comes from learning, understanding, implementing, and experiencing our foundations for health, which include, obviously, a big component of it's real food, setting circadian rhythms, encouraging some kind of natural movement patterns or some kind of fitness, meditation and mindfulness, grounding, being in nature, being outdoors, and minimalism. And, of course, we love the community aspect of it because we get a lot of support from that.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And once you all learn those foundations, then I think, like I said before, values go hand in hand with it. Yeah. So let's talk values today. Which is the first one you want to cover?
Well, really understanding that this is about, like, why the heck, I think we may have mentioned this before, why the hell are we doing all this stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Why are we doing this?
Oh, yeah.
Why are we doing this? You think about, like, where most people come from when they come into this. They're confused, they're misled, they're information overload, and why are they seeking what they're seeking? Well, they want to be happy.
Yeah.
And I would say most people, it's a breath of fresh air to have some freedom from the neurosis and the craziness and all that other stuff that's out there. So.
I really think, this is why I did it, is I was lost, very sad, wasn't happy, just wanted to better myself. And I really think innately people want to better themselves, and this was a way to find that.
Yeah, we do want to better ourselves, but then when you really keep asking the question, why? Why are we doing it? Because we want to be happy.
Yeah.
And part of that is freedom from the conventional wisdom view of what we need to do to be healthy, freedom from all the different fad diets out there, because we don't ever want people to get sucked into another methodology again.
No.
We want people to go through this and understand, I'm done. This is it.
Yeah.
I found my home. I found what I need, and this is going to serve me for a lifetime. And that's a big part of it for sure.
Yeah, I completely agree. What about the next one?
I like this because I've always been a rocker my entire life.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be a rocker to be a part of the SHT, but I've always liked dark colors, and I'm slightly morbid, but not in a negative, evil way, but I like, I just like that kind of stuff. So I like the idea of us being holistic health mavericks.
I love that.
Right?
I love that.
We used to say rebels, and me and Kat figured out that rebel means you're going against the organization. But as a maverick, you remember the movie Top Gun, or is that before your time?
No, I've seen Top Gun.
Okay.
Probably
Are you sure?
3 months ago. No, I promise
because we gave you a hard time about it. That's why I remember
hard time about it.
So Maverick, remember Maverick was in the organization, but within the organization and supporting the overall mission, did it a different way.
Yeah.
So I like to think of us as holistic health mavericks, because we are all in this same journey together, but we are figuring out how to do it in our own unique way. And it stands to reason that, when people come to see us, like they're usually one of their first responses is like, this is so different from what I'm used to. This is so different from I can't believe you're telling me to do this, because it's not what I'm used to out there, right? And we would say, well, of course, because what everyone else is doing out there is not working.
Yeah.
You look around out there and everyone's so tied to what they think is the right thing, and yet it's not serving them. So it stands to reason that when you come to learn from us, it's going to be very different.
Oh, yeah.
But we're still all on the same team, trying to get to that same destination of being happy and healthy and freedom.
I like that. I like that. Not rebels, but within the system, trying to just do it differently.
That's right.
I love that.
Within and I love that you actually saw Top Gun.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I was forced.
What was your favorite part of it?
I liked it. Don't get me wrong.
What was your favorite part? Please don't tell me what I think you're going to say.
What?
Go ahead. What was your favorite part of it? Or do you have a favorite part?
I don't really have a favorite part. It was just a good overall movie.
Cool.
I wouldn't be like, oh, it's my favorite. A lot of people love it so much. And they're coming out with a second one. Yeah. But.
Cool.
Yeah. Give me a while to watch that one too.
Yeah.
Okay, so next.
Another value is we are accepting and open to all. I think that goes hand in hand with the Mavericks thing, because I always used to say, I don't know if it's a good term or not, we embrace the misfits, because we are misfits all in our own way.
Yeah.
So we're accepting and open to everyone and everything. This is not an organization for nothing but beautiful people, although we're all beautiful people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about the looks. Yeah. Inside and out. All ages, all sizes, all health levels, fitness capacities, like you name it. This is an organization that opens its arms to everyone.
I love that. I've always found myself throughout life fitting in with the misfits.
Yeah.
As contradicting as that is. But I love that.
I think most people would say that they all do, because we're all in our heads about these insecurities and things that we have. So in our own minds, we all feel like misfits to a large degree.
And yet we don't shout it out. We don't say it. Yeah. And so everyone else feels so bogged down by how they feel about themselves. Oh, it's a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
So this just...
And you're trying to portray this image of being normal. Nobody's normal. We're all misfits.
It's all neurotic, which leads to the next value, which is...
I love it. It's also one of our foundations, so it's simplicity and elegance.
It is my favorite.
Yep.
I'm not
So why is
kidding.
it your favorite?
It's my favorite.
What does that mean to you when I say it's a value, simplicity and elegance?
Because I've always been neurotic with everything. I have always been bogged down by eat like 6 small meals a day, and check out this diet, and and everything was so count your calories. It was too much for me, which is why it was never sustainable. It was never a lifestyle. So with the simplicity and elegance of SHT and what this is just when I'm hungry, I eat. When I'm not, I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, I fast most of the day. Yeah. It's so wonderful.
And it's woven into everything that we do.
Everything.
Like that's always in the back of my mind, our minds, when we're creating progressions and updating things. We want to keep things simple and elegant and clean, because that's part of what makes this work in a modern lifestyle. That's part of what makes this work as a lifestyle for a lifetime, because if it gets too complicated, then it's too difficult to follow.
You're not going to stick with it for that long.
So like those, you know, like I like to use the example of recipes. Like, you know, when you eat real food, it doesn't have to be complicated. All you got to do is use real food, some meat, some vegetables, some healthy fats, some spices and seasonings, and if it's real food, it tastes amazing, right? Yeah. This whole quarter cup of this, a quarter teaspoon, wait 5 minutes, you know, I mean, I've never been a recipe guy. I'm not saying that recipes, you can't use them within what we do, because some people do. They need that kind of stuff. But in general, we try to keep things brutally simple so that we can make this work over a lifetime, for sure.
I agree. And then with that being said, taking away the neurotic part of it, taking away, you know, the bogging of the mind, all of that, it makes us point back to ourselves and make us the priority. So would you say that's our next value, is making us a priority?
Absolutely. And a big part of that too is we have so many people that come into working with us that they have so many responsibilities, work responsibilities, family responsibilities, children. I mean, I can't even imagine being a single parent mother with multiple kids, and, you know, financial like all the things that come with this chaotic life, you know? And so many people are so used to doing for others that they have a really hard time doing for themselves. And what we would say is, one of our priorities is we have to make ourselves a priority, because from a very selfish standpoint, it is very selfless to be selfish when it comes to health. Because,
I agree.
Because if you make yourself a priority, especially if you make your health a priority, then everything that you care about in your life, the responsibilities that you feel responsible for, you show up for those things better.
Oh yeah.
So even if you want to take it to that level and say, well, you know, I'm a giver and I want to continue to do more for others and the causes that I believe in and support, well, the more that you make yourself a priority, the better you show up for those things that you care about in your life.
No, I agree. How are you supposed to give your whole heart if half of it's empty because you're not giving to yourself, you know? I would say my best example of this is sleep. You know, and we learn all about that through SHT.
Such a good point.
I was always you know, a friend wants to go out, I'll make them a priority and go out with them and stay out super late, you know, just not be healthy and then wake up very early for work and just not be myself the next day.
Yep.
But now I make sleep a priority, which benefits me in numerous ways.
Which benefits everyone else in your life.
Yes, because then I have so much energy throughout the day and I have so much love to give, and just my mind is not stressed about not sleeping. And so, you know, 8 hours a night, I go to bed early, wake up, go to CrossFit, put my physical health, you know, first as well, and it just, gosh, it makes everything better.
Yeah, I love that. And that makes me think of something. It's like you got to, with that whole making yourself a priority, it's okay to set boundaries and say, like, I have to do this for myself. You know, like when I go visit my sister and my family for the holidays, which I rarely do, but when I go, they know that for me to be happy, I got to get up and go do my workout. I'm going to eat real food my way. I'm not, you know, and we're all real foodies there now, but there was a time in the past when they weren't. Like, I got to do the things that make me healthy, because that makes me happy, and then that makes me an enjoyable person to be around. You know?
So, my stomach's upset, I don't want to hang out.
Exactly. So part of that, you know, making yourself a priority is understanding it's okay to set boundaries, because those boundaries benefit all of us. You know,
And not only that, like, this SHT community will help you learn those boundaries and what you should do for your health, which I think is our next value, is constantly learning, you know, and coming out with new information. So what do you think about that?
So constant learning and experimentation is one of our values, because, you know, in with every one of the foundations, we give you a basic template, like a basic protocol. That's where we start. But for most people, that's not going to be enough. Like and it's not going to be enough for a lifetime, you know, so we have to have this mindset of, when I go into this, I cannot look for enlightenment on day one. Like, you know, I have to be patient with the process and understand that this is going to be a lifelong journey of constant learning and constant experimenting to see what works for me, understanding that what works for me today might not work for me in 3 months, 6 months, 2 years, and then vice versa. What doesn't work for me today all of a sudden may work a little bit down the road. So the body is always evolving and adapting. We're always learning. Our organization is always up to date on cutting edge information, and also plugging in things that we learn from anthropology and ancestral health. And so we have to be open and receptive to learning and constantly experimenting to see what works for us.
Oh, for sure. I agree. The first time, so in the SHT community, I'm not going to give too much away because I want people to listen to this and go, I need to do this. But the pulse test was a game changer for me. Coolest little test we've ever done. My first experience with it, crazy. My second one, my pulse was even higher. Wow. And it's intense. So
with the same food, or what are we talking about? Wow.
Yep, with the same food. Yeah. And so when you guys get into this community and you do the pulse test, your mind will be blown.
Yeah, I still use it every day.
Oh, yeah.
Every morning when I'm laying in bed, I connect.
Oh, yeah.
I do it a few times. We used to have little competitions in here. We'd say, well, we should do that when we get done, count our pulse and see
I'm down.
whoever is lower wins. But
oh, really? Okay. Yeah. All right, we'll do that. But I'm just going to leave that there because I want you guys to get into this and know this and just have your mind blown. So, yeah.
But the point of that value is just we have to have a mindset of constant learning, constant experimentation, because this over time is going to give us a honed intuition about. I think that's the best thing that comes out of always learning and experimenting is over time I start to develop this intuition about what works and what doesn't work for me.
Oh, yeah.
And
you're way more aware.
I'm in tune with it. Yes, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. All right. So what do you mean by living healthfully? Because we post that a lot on the Instagram, and I want people to know that, they need to enjoy this journey, but also enjoy living healthfully. So can you dissect that just a little more?
I don't know. Living healthfully means doing the things that contribute to health, but understanding that there is not a final destination with that. So living healthfully is like being in the moment with health and understanding that I am never going to get there. Like there is never going to be a point at which we get to where we are the epitome of health.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's a constant progression. Yes. There is a spectrum. And, I think this feeds into another one of our values, but like I want to be moving in the direction of always improving and getting better, but there is not a final destination. We have to enjoy the process and enjoy the journey and find a way to be present with it and enjoy the things that contribute to health and understanding that over time those things are always going to make us a little bit better.
I love that. So the next value would be enjoying the journey. Throughout the whole process.
Absolutely.
Because you can't, and that feeds into the value we talked about earlier is if you're neurotic about it, you're not enjoying it. So when we make it simple, you're going to start enjoying it a little more. You're going to start saying, let me do my research, let me test this. Let me go out of my way to test my sleep patterns. There's just crazy amounts of things that you can do, but you got to enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I agree.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
Which feeds into being patient. Yeah. Would you say that's another value of ours?
Well, patience is not just for you. It would be for the other people around you.
Oh, yeah.
And the other people that are in this thing with us, this SHT community, whether it's going through a progression, local live, online, Facebook group, whatever. Like, everyone gets triggered by everyone all the time, all day, right?
Oh my gosh, amen.
And so you have to be aware of that and understand that everyone is doing the best they can with what they have. Everyone wants to be happy, everyone wants to be healthy, and they are at a different stage in their journey compared to where you are, but we're all on that same journey. We need to practice patience and love and kindness to ourselves as we figure this out.
Yeah.
And we also have to have that same patience, love, and kindness towards other people as they figure it out because they're doing the best they can with what they have.
Oh my gosh, I agree. Can I give an example?
Of
and
course.
Give a shout out?
Yeah.
Okay, one of our executive tribe members, Kat, what up, Kat? Love you to death. She had an epiphany, and I had to be so patient with her because I went through the same exact thing. She's having shoulder issues. It comes with that natural movement here at the CrossFit gym. And I just wanted to say, give it time, work this, do this, crossover symmetry bands, all of this stuff. And I just wanted her to get it. But I had to be so patient with her, give her so much love. And then the minute she got it, I was just pouring love into her because I was, when you
How did you know she got it? What'd she posted, what was your conversation?
She posted and she was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna build my core. I'm gonna build my legs. I'm gonna let this rest. And I was just like, so happy for her that she got it.
Yeah.
And it's like that with all of our foundations. Somebody's gonna, be hooked on a sweetener that they probably shouldn't be, and they're gonna use it and go, you know what? I'm gonna try something else. And you just gotta be patient with them. You gotta love them.
Yeah, absolutely. I like what you're saying because there's a patience, as in like you don't want you have to understand everyone has been where that person is to some degree at some point.
Yes.
We all have to see ourselves in other people. So it's like, you have to let them go through that process as we gently nudge and give them the information and facilitate experiments and things. But also part of that is you can't let things trigger you because they are, again, we are all in a different spot in this whole journey.
Exactly. So. Our goals are still the same, but we might be on a different path, So you just got to be patient, love them. Kat, you're going to get it. Your abs are looking killer.
Oh my God,
so,
her abs are looking
I
good.
know.
Yeah.
So that's super, super exciting. So we talk a lot about ancestral wisdom. We talk a lot about our roots and our foundations and trying to bring back some old times. But what can you say as another value that is the modern lifestyle? Like what can you say about that value?
Well, that value is we are all about making this work in a modern lifestyle.
Yeah.
And so what that means is we're about embracing modern conveniences, So we are not ancestral zealots, meaning that like we, it's like, because we can't live the ideal. We can't live in ancestral times. I don't even know if we'd want to.
I enjoy my crock pot.
Exactly. So part of this means we want to embrace modern technology.
Yes.
There's some things I always like to bring up the example. We're fine with a microwave. If a microwave, some people could argue, nitpick some negative things about a microwave, but if a microwave heating some food is the thing that is going to make you eat real food, and if you didn't have a way to reheat your food, then you'd be out, then we would love for you, much rather you embrace the microwave than not embrace it and then just throw your hands up and walk away from it.
I completely agree.
Yeah. And there's a lot of other examples, but and then also things like technology, like one of my big areas of focus this year is EMFs and radiation.
Yeah.
And but it's not that I'm advocating like getting rid of cell phones and wireless technology altogether.
No.
It's like understanding how to work within the context of that and have some guidelines that can make things as good as they can possibly be, So
completely agree. It's a necessary evil. I mean, I like to call it that because nowadays, you need a business. You're networking, and so you need the technology. Yet there are ways to go around it.
Yep.
There are ways to use it as a benefit and then put it off to the side and have your time.
Yep.
So
having smart guidelines.
Exactly.
So part of that value is making this work in a modern lifestyle, embracing modern conveniences. Like we said before, we are a combination of ancestral and hip. We're pretty freaking cool. So part of it's in embracing modern conveniences, but also I think it also ties back to that simplicity and elegance, making this work in a modern, chaotic freaking lifestyle.
Yes.
And figuring out how to make all that stuff fit together.
Yes.
So.
Love it, love it, love it. And when you use those things, you get, you find different things that work, even, in the gym, in your kitchen, just making things like that. And I want to take it back to, getting feedback from your body, from the community, from all of that. Would you say, because I talked about certain foods, that might make your stomach hurt and you want to stay away from it, and the testing the pulse test we talked about, of you getting constant feedback. Is that another value of ours, would you say?
Kind of. So what we mean by that value, so another value is we only get feedback from everything that we do. So this is a perspective. This is a perception shift.
Yes.
This is a way that you can choose to look at situations. So there is no such thing as failure in anything that we do. There is only feedback. So that means that I am either getting the results that I want with what I'm doing, or I am getting some information from what I just did that gives me something to change my course of action to get the results that I want.
Yeah.
And any way I look at it, if I have that perspective and that perception, I am getting the results I want, because I'm either getting the results or I'm getting information to change course to get the results.
I absolutely
there's only feedback. That's it.
Love the quote, failure. It's not failure, it's feedback. You're
right.
Absolutely right. With everything that we do. With the food testing, with the sleep, with all of it. It's just feedback. In order to keep going down that path that gives you a green light, or it gives you a red light and go, you know what, here's feedback, it's not working for you, let's try a different route. Because everybody's bodies are different, so
Absolutely.
you need the feedback.
Yep, and when I say it's a perspective and a perception change, you can have the same identical situation, and for one person it could completely derail and they throw their hands up, but if I have the right perspective, then I'm like, okay, that's fine, that's great.
Yeah.
What can I learn from this? How can I move forward and be better from this?
Yeah.
And that's how we want to approach things.
I love that.
Yep.
I love that. And with moving forward and being better, we have a little saying here in the SHT community, and I learned this right off the bat, and I love it.
I know, I do too. I'm so proud that it's taken off the way it has, because it's the truth.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah. And the next value is better is better.
Better is better.
Can you dissect that a little bit? Tell us more about better is better.
Better is better. So we are striving for optimal for sure.
Yes.
Okay. But we are not looking for, again, there is no final destination. We are just looking for small increments of improvements, small betters, right? So if I have a spectrum, and on that spectrum I have where I'm at, and I have what I think is this optimal place to be down the road, if I just move just a little bit down the road, that's still better. And I'll take better over any day. Better is better versus not being better.
I agree.
Better is better.
I agree.
So always look for better. You know, sometimes if you're going through this journey and you're trying to figure out like what's working, what's not working, or trying to find some kind of justification or rationalization for the work that you're putting into it, you just have to sit and ask yourself like what things are moving in a good direction, what things are changing in a beneficial direction, because better is better. That means something's moving in a good direction.
Yeah. All of these values link. You know, while you say that, I'm thinking, wow, you know what? That takes a lot of patience, love, and kindness for yourself.
Yes.
You know, so when you're going down this journey and you're like, oh, you know what? For example, I only lost 5 pounds. All right, cool. That's better.
That's huge.
That is so better from where you were.
Well, I mean, we could go off on such a tangent right now, but I tell people all the time, yes, and what's great about our betters is most of our betters are cumulative over time. So let's just say that I only lose, 5 pounds of body fat in my first year.
Yeah.
Well, and then the next year you lose another 5. Yeah. And then before I know it, 5 years down the road, I'm like freaking 30 pounds lighter. You know, I don't know if that's the right math, but you know what I'm saying? Something like that. I always tell, a lot of people who haven't seen me for a few years now, they say, man, you look so much leaner and thinner. And I'm like, and so last time I saw him was 5 years ago. Yeah. And I've lost maybe 15, 20 pounds in 5 years. And not that I care or track that or anything, because I'm looking at how I feel is my biggest marker. But I mean, a lot of people that are looking for that dramatic change, like 2 or 3 pounds in a year is nothing. But 2 or 3 pounds in a year over 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, and for a lifetime, or whatever the changes are that we're looking at, like that's huge.
Yeah.
And when we do the things the right way, like we recommend, like it's cumulative. It stays with you.
I got that comment in the combine recently where someone was like, you're looking slimmer. I'm like, I haven't seen you for like a week. What are you talking about? Like, it's only been a week. And it's like the coolest compliment, but you got to know that it's over time.
Yeah.
I've been doing this. You've been doing this forever, but I've been in it for 2 years now. And it's like, still, it's gradual. Yeah. You have to be patient for yourself. Better is better. It's gonna take time.
Yeah. And some things will happen dramatically, but it doesn't matter. Big betters are great, small betters are great, doesn't matter.
But this is a lifelong journey. This is not something for quick gratification. This is a way of life for life, And with that, better is better. But one of our values, I would say, is striving for that optimal that you talked about. Yeah. Better is always better. We will never put you down for that.
Yeah, now to get those betters, we want to focus on what we believe is optimal, and of course we're always updating, changing our stance on things, based on feedback and science and information that we get. But a lot of people will come into this and they feel like they're doing something that works for them.
Yeah.
And if it works for you, great. But what we're trying to say here is that we don't want what is just working or what's just good enough. Yeah. We want what's optimal. Yep. I'll have people come in here and they're like, well, when I do macros or when I do this isogenics protein shake, something
that already makes me cringe.
But some people will go into something like that. Or when I do I'm vegan and I've seen these great changes shift and happen. Well, my response is usually, what's happening is you've gone from doing something completely wrong to something better, and you're seeing some improvements. But how about looking for what is optimal? So we want to strive for what is optimal while looking for small increments of better. Yes. But we don't want just what's good enough.
Yep.
I mean, good enough is not good enough. Yep. To be honest.
I love that. I love that. Love that. So when you are in the SHT community and when you are here, you see a certain type of role model, a certain type of example that carries themselves through the progressions and through the program, and once you're in the community, you just kind of see a certain type of personality come out. It's just, you want to set an example. So what can you say about that value?
I would say one of our values has to be that our contribution, one of our many contributions that we can give to this world, is our leading by example, and and our healthful presence.
Yeah.
So and you can have a lot of confidence in that, understanding that one of the greatest things that you can do for anyone and everything is to be committed to this healthful path, and your contribution, our contribution as individuals, is going to be our healthful presence.
Yeah. Once you set an example, I mean, it really shows. Nobody's going to, train with somebody, let's say at the gym, and then they look buff, right? Maybe genetically they are. Yeah. But then they go home and they drink these protein shakes, eat a Snickers bar, and you try to do the same thing, and it just doesn't work for you. Yeah. And I don't ever recommend that. But I mean, you do need a good example all the time. And I think with being a good example leads us to our next value, and that's don't debate.
Yeah, we don't debate. We don't debate. Yeah. The best thing that you can do is just lead by example. Yeah. Because, we're going to come across people who have varying opinions and have done their own personal experiments and have their own beliefs. And if something's working for you, that's great. But I mean, instead of trying to convince or argue or debate, like we tell our people, like just live by example and let your example be the voice, and do not argue or debate. Like I won't.
I won't either. And I mean, there are some things that trigger us, of course, but we have to be super patient,
Absolutely.
I had a friend I knew in college post on Facebook and go, hey, like my digestive system's out of whack. Like what juice, what detox, what do I need to do right now to fix this? And I was just so simple. Yeah. I was like, hey,
and she's asking for help, and I think that's great. That's good. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and it's just like all the comments I read underneath was like, cringe. Yeah. Like I would
when
just
you start
cringe.
To get into those little back and forths, that's what we want to avoid. Always.
Oh yeah. So I just was super nice. I said, hey, like check out SHT. Once you eat real food, your digestive system will naturally clear itself. Absolutely. Like you're just gonna have such a good time with it. And I just left it there. And I was like, all right, walking away. No debate, lead by example.
Man, when I post some of my most controversial posts, like the comments start and I do not engage.
You can't.
I don't engage.
Well, one, you're just gonna start stuff you don't want, and then two, it's just not leading by example. Just put it out there with all your heart and happiness and just walk away. Yep. Walk away. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's the goal, honestly, even in debating, even in not debating, I mean, but like posting, all of that, the goal is genuinely just to be happy with your work and with your community, and within the community, that's a goal, is to just be happy. And that led back to our first value. Yeah.
Being happy, freedom, and just feeling good is the ultimate goal of this whole thing. It's just feeling good.
Feeling like you can drop that 50-pound conventional wisdom weight off of your shoulders and feeling light and free and happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is the goal.
That is it. That is why we are all in this together, because we want to feel as amazing as we possibly can and show up in life at our very best, and then share this amazing, beautiful information with other people. So
I agree. That's why we're doing this.
You are doing this.
For sure. That's why we are doing this. Yeah. It's to just feel good. Yeah. And as a community, we appreciate hearing this and having this type of a conversation, talking about our values. It's just, we don't debate. We're happy. Do your thing. We're humans. You might have your bad days, but know that you can come back to it, and know that you can always check yourself and recognize it and be on track with the community. So
hell yeah.
Thank you for the values.
That's good stuff. Yeah. That was a good little post there. So we will have these values listed out in bullet form points. And so that you can cross-reference that, and we'd highly recommend reviewing it and maybe listen to this, especially if you get into a situation where you're being hard on yourself about what you're trying to accomplish with what we're doing and what you're learning from us.
100%. So, yeah. All right, Paul. Thank you for your
time. Good stuff. You too. Love you. All right. Jinx. Again.
Dang it.
Scarefest is on, girl.
Oh.